I'm back with some more Bannerlord, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a new mod called Agriculture Estate. So Agriculture Estate, it's a smallish mod that just adds to villages the option to buy land, sell land, and you can produce your own products and stuff. I just thought it was a nice addition to the base game and I wanted to check it out. It is worth noting that this is for version 1.6. So you'll need to opt into the beta if you want to give it a go. Let's jump in and take a look. Okay, so we're in, and yes, I named my character Agriculture Estate just so I could keep track. But what you'll notice now is when you visit a village, you're given this new option, Land Management. And as the name suggests, it opens up a menu where you can manage your land. So we get this new menu here, right? So we'll go through each of the options. First up, you have your land plots. These are your basic land where you can suitable to agriculture and resource extraction. These are just your generic lands that you want to own. You can buy them for 800 gold. You can sell them for 500 gold. So next up, you have undeveloped plots. This is also land you can buy and own. You'll notice there's more of it available. And it's only 200 to buy for 125 to sell. But it's an undeveloped land, so it's not suitable for farming or anything like that yet until it's been cleared. Which leads us on to the next one. Land clearance. So land clearance, you can pay 2,000 gold and it'll take one of your undeveloped plots and turn it into a land plot. So obviously once you've run out of land plots, there's no more available, but you want that extra resource production. You'd have to invest into one of these and then clear the land, which takes 240 hours. And then you got your next upgrade. You can increase your patrols. Increase in patrols decreases the escape chance by 0.5 and revolt risk by 0.1. This is referring to the slaves down here, which we'll get onto. But you can only buy this upgrade 8 times. So this would be, you could buy it for however many undeveloped plots you have. This one can only be bought 8 times. And it takes the same amount of time. And then the third upgrade is about your storehouse. This is your capacity on your resource production, which is this here, which we'll get onto. And again, costs 2,000, takes 240 hours. So next up in the bottom left, we got the slaves. So if you don't own any slaves or anything, and you own land, you get a small amount of passive income. So each day you'll just get a small amount of gold. But if you add slaves to your land, because you've now got manpower, you can actually produce a resource. So you can see here then, every day, there's a chance that X amount of slaves can escape. That's the slave decline. So you can see every day there's a 5% chance some slaves could escape. Then your revolt risk is your daily chance for the slaves rising up in rebellion. Have too many and they outnumber the workers or the military. And there's a higher risk of them causing a riot and breaking out and revolting against you. And then you also have a land usage stat. I'm assuming that's how much of the land. So say, for example, maybe one bit of land can hold 100 slaves. Land usage would be how much of that land are you actually using. And then as I mentioned then, down the bottom then it says land not used by slave labor, generates small income. And then here you can click manage and it'll open up your prisoners and you can put prisoners in there yourself that you've captured. You can tick this option so whenever a party visits the village that you own land in, you will automatically buy all their prisoners from them and add them to your land, which I thought was a pretty neat feature. Then you got your production details, which is it gives you your estimated output. So next up we have the stockpile. It gives the same message as the slaves, but essentially your stockpile is the resources you're producing. You have an option to automatically sell them to the village, or obviously you're not going to get a lot of money for them. And if you keep bulk selling them, it's not much of a profit. The idea is turn that on for a lazy quick profit, or manually collect the resource and sell it where you think is best to sell for the profit. So it's one of those things. It just weighs up. If you're willing to put in a bit of effort, you get more gold. And then here you can manage your stockpile, and same as the slavery, it basically just lets you remove the items from it. And then here we got the project queue. As expected, if I was to like upgrade some land, it takes 240 hours, it'll add it to the project queue, and you can see the progress that's being made on your queue. So if we get some money now, just so we can start buying some land and show you how it actually works. Oh, actually, before we get some money, I forgot to mention this ledger bit at the top. If you open that, it opens up a new menu that gives you a brief overview of all the villages that you own land in, the production of all your villages, your plots. Like, it just gives you a decent. So you can look at the. You only have to visit one of your villages, and you can see them all rather than having to manually run to every single one. So we've gone off. We've got ourselves some money with a little help of some cheats. But we'll buy a bit of land. You can see now we now own one land. It cost us 800. We can now hold 10 slaves. So maybe it's 10 per land. And you can see daily estimated output 27.79 gold. This is because we're not producing any resources, we're just collecting land rent. If I bulk buy all the land, the price doesn't change, it maintains the same all the way through. You can now see it's now 10 times that because we've got 10 times the land. If we buy all the undeveloped land, price hasn't changed because it's not usable. But if we click upgrade, you can see we've added one plot to the upgrade queue, and we've now got to wait 240 hours. You can see I waited a little bit, and you can see as the progress fills up, obviously 240, that would be 10 in-game days. Assuming the game runs on a 24-hour clock like real life. Be a bit weird if it didn't, but are there any games out there that actually don't run on 24 hours and run on their own? I'm not too sure. I don't know if I can't think of any games that run on their own time system. But anyway, we're easily distracted. So what I'll do now is I'll buy some slaves and we'll pump them into the system to show you what happens when you get them into the... If we take a quick look at the ledger, you can see this is a sheep village. We own 10 bits of land. We own 20 undeveloped land. We have no slaves. We have no stockpile. We haven't had any income yet. Current project, we're clearing one of our lands. And a progress update. So I've spawned in 150 looter prisoners. If I move over 10 for now, you can see we're at 10 out of 10 out of 100, 10%. You can see there's no chance of a revolt at the moment. We don't have to be concerned about that. And you can actually see here now. So the daily land rent has gone down to 200 from round about 280. Because we're now using some of our land. And you can see that we're producing some sheep, wool, butter, cheese, and grain. And what will happen is, as that's a daily amount, that capacity in the stockpile here will start to fill up each day and we can pull those resources out. You can see now I've now moved the rest of the slaves over and we're at full capacity. You can see we're now getting no more land rent. Land rents now are at 0 because every bit of land we own is now being used. We're not renting it out for a passive income. And you can see each day we're going to be receiving pretty much 10 sheep, 15 wool, 5 butter, 5 cheese, and 7 grain. So you can see that these can actually produce quite a big quite a big output when you max fill it. We'll see if we can go over 100. We've put in 150. and it stops you. Okay, so when you click done, it warns you you've exceeded your 100 limit. We don't have any revolt risk at the moment though, but if we skip a day, take a look. So I've skipped about 2 days almost, and you can see we're now down to a 91% land usage. 9 of our slaves have escaped. There's still no revolt risk at the moment, so we don't need to worry about that too much. And you can see now that the stockpile has all these resources that we can now just pull out. But that's just been a quick look into Agriculture Estate. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can find the mod. I recommend giving it a go. And then, as always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, see ya.